Hi everyone, it's Gothic Layman here. So being the month of October, I decided to talk a little bit about some horror movies that I've been watching because I get in these funny moods where I have to watch all different horror movies at once and then, not watch them for ages until I get another bigger lot of horror movies and do it all over again. So the first one I want to sort of talk about is Nothing to Fear. It's kind of got a Children of the Corn vibe to this movie, being a quiet town, new people come to the town, and then the town, there's actually something really sketchy going on around the town. Without being too much of spoilers, in a whole, I think the storyline was really well done and well fought, and it tied together really nicely from the start to the end. But I felt like it was it was tiny bit slow to start off, and you didn't quite know where it was going to go. But once you worked out where it was going, it kind of just went straight into it all. I think the the best part is the actual possessed girl, and I like how instead of being, they did all the, the usual, she crawls across the floor like quite creepy, but I kind of liked that the darkness was kind of like webs that come out onto the walls, onto the ground, just around her, like this darkness around her, like this dark essence. And that's probably my favorite part about the movie, is the actual how they played the possession. Next one I watched was Jugface. Kind of same along the lines, but a bit more isolated town in itself. It's a very old country hick sort of style of movie. They're so isolated from the world and they don't really have anything to do with modern society. They keep to their own. They still do arranged marriages in this movie, but the essential concept of this movie is that if a person makes a jug that's connected to the evil of the town, and if your face is on the jug, you've got to be killed to bring prosperity to the town and the village. And that's essentially the storyline to Jugface. Next one I watched was Contracted. This went in a weird place, this movie. You kind of didn't know where it was going to go until right at the end. For a gore and horror sort of factor, this was a very gory movie with a lot of maggots and blood and rotting and things like that. So that side of things, it was quite good. But yeah, like I said, you don't really know where it's going to go till the end of the movie. Next movie I watched was The Purge 2, the second one. I liked it better than the first one, to be honest. I thought the second one was a little bit more thought out and they had a little bit more fun with that movie. Next one I watched was Were, W-R-E. It was essentially supposed to be a werewolf type movie. Not that you see much of an actual werewolf. I wouldn't really call them proper werewolves, but next movie I watched was called Blink. Usual story. Group of teenagers go up to this place, like this holiday resort in the snow, and then they start to notice that everyone's just missing. Like there's no trace of anyone in this lodge at all, and there's like taps still running, food still cooking. So this place is just deserted and they can't explain why, and then they just start to really get creeped out by the place and they want to leave, but they haven't got enough petrol to get back home and be in the middle of the snow and be in winter, so they shack up in the place and people just start randomly disappearing. The fact I didn't like this movie is it didn't really explain why people were disappearing, just that it was happening. So it was one of those movies that just doesn't explain anything. Next movie I watched was Possession of Michael King. Loved this movie. For a possession movie, wow. I was really impressed with it. It spooked me a lot, which I'm impressed about. And the fact that he did the standard possession things, but went a bit more in depth with it. Essentially, Michael King was trying to prove that spirits, demons are not real, and so he was basically telling them to come get me, come prove to me that you're not real. So just a great movie, this one. Probably my favourite so far out of everything I've watched at the moment. Next one I watched was Leprechauns. It's an Irish movie of leprechauns, and not your standard looking leprechauns either. They're kind of really creepy looking leprechauns that eat people, and the town feed people to these leprechauns to kind of give the same prosperity to the town, kind of something. I didn't expect I'd enjoy this movie, but I did enjoy this. My last movie I liked and loved, but I'm not going to say it out. It's Ocus, Octless or something. I'll probably put the name there. Another paranormal possession type movie again, but really well done. Well done. Kind of happens like something happens to the family and the kids come back to the house because it's the mirror that's doing all the killing. It's the mirror controlling the demon or spirit or what have you want to call it, and the kids want to go back and prove what happens to their parents, but the mirror is manipulating them why they're there, making them think funny thoughts. Or one example is the girl thinks she's eaten an apple and she actually bites down on a light bulb and then it tricks her again. So it's a very tricky kind of movie, but I love the warped sense it goes to in the movie, and it keeps constantly having playbacks or flashbacks of the why they're there, like as kids, their side of what happened to their parents, and the different scenarios of what happened and what they saw to what might have happened. But I loved this movie too. I thought it was really well done and great. So they're movies I've currently watched, and they're quite new at the moment. They're newish movies. So thank you for watching my video. Please feel free to leave comments below.